Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro, and today is Sunday, May the 15th. We're taking a look at a forecast for the full moon and a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is occurring on May 16th at 12:15 a.m. Eastern Time. So the build-up today, Sunday, is going to be feeling very much like that full moon all day. And then tomorrow we're going to have the carryover energy from the full moon, kind of putting the 2 days together because depending on the time zone you live in, you may be on one side of the fence or the other when it comes to which day this is occurring. And I'm not sure about where you can see this total lunar eclipse. You could Google that and find out whether it's going to be in your viewing area. I know it's in mine. Definitely, if your sky is clear, check it out. Watch that eclipse. It's always amazing to see a total lunar eclipse. All right, let's take a look at the forecast that I've written for the energy of this eclipse. Full moon and total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, Sunday, May 15th and Monday, May 16th, can bring breakthroughs and revelations which will alter the direction of your life, give you a deeper understanding of how you manifest your reality, and bring karmic connections or lessons to your awareness, as the moon conjunct the south node in Scorpio opposes the sun, conjunct the north node in Taurus, while Saturn in Aquarius squares both the sun and moon to complete a fixed T-square in the water, earth, and air elements. The moon also forms a trine to Mars and Neptune in Pisces, conjunct Jupiter in Aries, and a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn, while the sun conjunct Mercury in Gemini mimics the lunar aspects with a trine to Pluto and a sextile to Jupiter, Neptune, and Mars, offering you power, inspiration, and courage through what I call an angel wings pattern, which overlays the T-square. Yes, this is an intense full moon, made more so by an eclipse and the involvement of the lunar nodes. Scorpio 8th house issues of sex and intimacy, trust, boundaries, shared values and assets, and Taurus 2nd house concerns of money, self-worth, personal values, sensuality, and security are being tested by the reality check planet Saturn in the future-focused sign of Aquarius. Taurus measures value and appreciates the good things in life, but is fearful of loss. Scorpio intuits secrets and wrestles with trust issues while desiring transformation through merging with another. And Aquarius seeks truth and freedom through knowledge, but can be too logical and detached. So these are the things the T-square is highlighting. While retrograde Mercury in Gemini taps into the T-square, you are able to change your mind and adapt to a new plan or communicate easily in a casual way, even if the subject matter is personal and deep. You could be choosing commitment or ending a union that has fulfilled its purpose. You may replace old habits and negativity with new routines and a positive expectancy of future growth and abundance. Talk things out. It will move energy and enhance empathy. Let's take a look at what that particular chart looks like at the time that we experience that full moon. And here I have it set for an Eastern time zone, New York. We've got May 16th at 12:15 a.m. And we can see that here we have that angel wing pattern that I spoke about with the trines and the sextiles. Here's Pluto at one shoulder. Here's Mars and Neptune and Jupiter at the other shoulder. And then the points of the wings, the tips of the wings, are the moon and the sun, conjunct Mercury, and the lunar nodes, of course, are involved there. So we can definitely have a greater understanding of what goes around comes around, or things that have been hidden from us may be revealed because we are under that lunar influence of Scorpio, and Scorpio is a very perceptive, psychic, empathetic water sign that does kind of look underneath or behind things and can see things that are hidden from you. And then Taurus is extremely earthbound, but it is also just as empathetic. I find that sun sign Taurus people seem particularly good at what's called psychometry, being able to read things by handling objects that belong to somebody else, like holding a piece of jewelry or keys. And they may be very sensitive too to things like used clothes or furniture, where they're picking up the energy patterns of the person that that object belonged to in the past. So, if you are a sun sign Taurus, you might find that your own um, positive and negative attributes are really being emphasized right now. If you are a sun sign Scorpio, the same thing. You may find that your pluses and your minuses are really being brought to the extremes. And Aquarius completes the T square, and Saturn is as I mentioned, a reality check planet. It's a planet of duty, responsibility, authority. It's not receiving a heck of a lot of other support in here, whereas the moon does. We have the sextile and the trine going on, sextile to Pluto, trine to the Pisces and Aries energy, and the sun also, even though it's in an opposition and a square, just as the moon is in an opposition and a square, we do have the kind of the relief valve over there to the side where we have supportive trine and sextile, where Pluto, Mars, Neptune, Jupiter are working really hard on your behalf to give you the endurance, the willpower, the mind over matter energy that you need to work through a problem or manifest something. Saturn is a little bit under pressure, so sun sign Aquarius may feel a bit more pressure. And then if you are a sun sign Leo, the other fixed sign that would create a grand square, a grand cross out of this T square, you're not getting away scot-free, even though you don't see anything moving through Leo. If you are a sun sign Leo, particularly in the mid-range here, degree-wise, mid to late range, you may really be feeling it, um, because you will be pulled by the moon, Saturn, and the sun all pointing toward you, and the perspective of having to step outside of yourself. That's what Saturn would be doing, is kind of pulling on you to step outside of yourself and step up to something, or realize where maybe you've been in error and it is time for you to correct course. So I think the Leos might have it roughest out of everybody with this particular full moon, and nobody really gets away unscathed right now. There will be something that's going to come up for you, no matter what your sun sign is, because no matter what your sun sign is, your sun is going to be affected by some or any of these transiting planets. And the lunar nodes, the North Node has to do with why you're here, your soul purpose, karmic lessons, gaining higher wisdom or knowledge and understanding of things like cause and effect, and how you are creating your reality, what your purpose is, and what path you're choosing. And the South Node can indicate what you may have done in past lives that comes to you very naturally, easily, or kind of like a default programming in this lifetime, where you may put a lot of time and energy into that South Node, even though you are meant to be focusing more on your North Node. The South Node comes more easily. The North Node requires a little bit more work. So sometimes we can get caught up in our South Node because it comes so easily and it feels so familiar and comfortable to us, to such an extent that we ignore the North Node opposite. And with Saturn interacting with both the nodes and the lights, the moon and the sun, awareness and the bigger existential questions about why you're here and who you're with and what you're busy doing are all going to come up for you. And in some ways, going into your shadow may come up because of the Scorpio energy and the house that Scorpio rules. Um, the things that you may suppress or want to deny or not look at or deal with. And you are not going to get anywhere unless you go there, unless you accept the totality of who you are. And I think that that is something that this full moon and eclipse may bring to you, is that ability to see it, to accept it, and to transform so that you can uh, move ahead, especially at a higher level, taking on greater responsibility and perhaps commitment to yourself, where you're not just running on default programs, where you're predetermining what your programming is and which direction you will be headed in. So there's a lot going on. I think it's a particularly powerful moon for the better in the long run, even if it seems like there's a lot of upheaval or scary things going on or breakups looming or quitting of jobs or getting laid off or fired or any of that. Uh, Bless it and get ready for the next thing. Move on. We've got a Sabian symbol. Let's take a look at the Sabian symbol. We round up from 25 degrees, 18 minutes to 26 degrees. And American Indians, and this may not be politically correct, I'm sorry, but I didn't write this. This was written quite a while ago by Dane Rudyard. American Indians making camp after moving into a new territory. The ability to adjust swiftly to a new situation by tuning into its requirements. He who lives in harmony with nature, moving on as new needs arise, finds himself intuitively at home everywhere. He does not make demands upon life, for he has identified himself with the great rhythms of the biosphere, and he functions at peace with what they produce. This is the message of the American Indian culture, which European invaders so wantonly and meaninglessly destroyed nearly everywhere. Western man has lost faith in life because he wants to dominate and enslave manifestations. This represents the first stage of the 48th fivefold sequence in the cycle of experience. It brings to us a message we greatly need today, the message of peaceful adaptation to nature, and through adaptation of efficient functioning in all life situations. Well, that definitely makes some sense based on some of what I've written, and I never do look at the Sabian symbol until I'm on here with you. We have, if we look at where these planets are sitting in terms of cardinal, fixed, and mutable, the pressure going on in the T-square is in the fixed energy, and fixed can be very stubborn. It wants to stay where it is. It wants to control things and take things from start to finish. It doesn't want the program changed. Cardinal is very boss-like and ordaining. It initiates, and you can see we have the benevolent planets of Venus, Jupiter, and the healing planet of Chiron. We've got Pluto and the ascendant, although the chart would be different in different locations, but we have Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, which is very well aspected, and it's in retrograde. I think we're having a chance to correct some problems and to make things better, but it may require stepping into power in order to do that and stepping into some of that cardinal ordaining, initiating energy. The mutable energy showing the flexibility or the adaptation comes through Pisces and Gemini, where we have Mars and Neptune conjunct in Pisces. And that gives a higher purpose or meaning to things and the action toward it. Now, on the level of relationships, this combines energy that is sexual and romantic. So some people may be deciding, that's it, I'm opening up to intimacy. I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm going to go deeper into my existing relationship, or I'm going to go meet somebody and have a relationship. So there may be a longing and a yearning that leads to an action, for greater love in life and the expression of love. Uh, it may also be on the material level that you're ready to do what it takes to expand and grow. And that may mean learning new things, being open to new opportunities, um, knowing or accepting that you are naive or you don't know everything, but that you can find a teacher or you can learn. And it may take you time, but you can get there. Elevation, that's the main thing there. And we have Mercury also an immutable sign and again retrograde. So maybe you couldn't pass a test in the past and you dropped out of school. Go back. You might find that now you are in the right place and time to learn, to study, to pass tests, and to go on and get that degree. Maybe you tried a relationship with a particular person, but it was wrong timing. And maybe it's time to reach out to them now and see where they are in life and talk about the past and see if you have any potential for the future together. So there are opportunities with the mutable energy in particular to adapt, adjust, and be open to a new way of doing things, a new way of thinking or being. And it's toward improvement. We've got Jupiter there in Aries, that planet of growth and abundance, very close to Mars and Neptune. So you're wanting to improve yourself. Everybody's wanting to improve themselves right now, whether it's circumstances and conditions of life, or things they can or cannot control. We still always have the ability to choose how we think and feel about things. And that is something that the moon and the sun and Mercury opposing each other here with the lunar nodes, but supporting these angel wings, basically saying you can think differently, you can feel differently, and it's up to you to choose how you think and feel, no matter what the circumstances or conditions of your life. And that is the magic, really. That is the magic that can change everything. So I leave you with that, and do stay safe. Sometimes people do act rather strangely when the moon's moving through Scorpio, on the road in particular. The stuff that's buried can come up. And until next time, oh, and I wanted to let everybody know that I will be away and out of office from the 22nd until the 27th of May. And I will have my email on an autoresponder. I may be in places where I am not going to be reachable. So be patient. I will return. And if you want to speak to me before that time, this next week, I have plenty of openings on my schedule. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon.